Hello everyone, Burb here. Cygames has decided to incorporate a whole bunch of new things into the game with the 7.1 maintenance that they just completed. I was not expecting this. I don't think anyone was expecting this because they didn't announce anything on it. But they have basically changed the way we play this game, both making our CM aces as well as making our parents, which is most of this game's actual aspects. There's a lot of quality of life changes. I think this is overall positive. But today I'll be going through them. As a disclaimer, this is on short notice. I went to sleep, I woke up, I got pinged in every Discord about 12 times, so here I am making the video compiling it. I have tried to cross-reference the in-game message with the systems in the game to verify they are in, with the help from a couple people like Bastende, JJ, and the entirety of Team Velocity, honestly. They've helped me immensely with this, so thank you to them. First of all, to correct the record from the 624 video, the only thing that did not make it in was the Gold City change. I apologize for you Gold City Oshi players, but this was just the rewording patch. It was not the one that changed it into Gold Ship Ultimate. So it should be coming in hopefully in the next couple months if they keep accelerating these patches, hopefully before Grandmasters, but for now it was just the rewording change on the uniques. There's no real functional impact with that one. Also, the extra dirt races, I didn't say they were going to be in, but just so you know, the Ricky dirt race changes are not in yet either, so we are still on base 22 race schedule for parenting. The big change is that Spark reroll is in the game in a rudimentary form, but still a much welcome form. What this is just you have the ability to go and basically do a second final spark. So if you don't like your spark the first time, or if you just want an additional roll because of time reasons, you can press the reroll spark buttons. You see both sparks at the same time. You can flip between the two and you select the one that you want. This is not the one that includes the battle pass or that includes the spark pass that's like $5 a month that goes and allows you to have 3 or 4 rerolls. This is a single reroll that can only be used via TP, which is an advantage for those spending carrots because it's 30 carrots to reroll when you are out of energy items. But for the most of us, what this is very, very, very good quality of life because now your parent runs are basically twice as effective because you have 2 chances by running one singular run, okay? So the option to reroll sparks at the end of the career, great. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this. Now people are going to complain that the spark reroll pass isn't in there, so they can't have 4 or 5, they only have 2. And I wonder at the anniversary if they're going to give us the free spark reroll. Who knows at 1.5 anniversary if they will do that or not. But in JP and future thing, in like 2nd anniversary or 2.5 anniversary, 3 anniversary, they were getting free spark rerolls on anniversary in addition to the ones that they grab as well. So I wonder if they'll do that for 1.5. That is all speculation, but just know that you can press the reroll spark button in the game. May do a separate video on it, on using it effectively, but basically, if you are a player that only plays a few runs a day, you just do it every time to try to get a better spark. If you are a power gamer that is running carrots, you basically do this every time to double your parent runs. Otherwise, the scenarios got reworked. This is the other major change. URA, now you basically train with Happy Meek. So, of course, URA is faster than Trackblazer, and URA is an option for parent farming. Now, Trackblazer does get technically more skill points and more stats, but because URA is so much faster, I think we're going to find people going and pulling away from Trackblazer at this point. The change that is really big is Happy Meek now trains with you. If you go and you press a training that Happy Meek is on while she is flashing the dual button, first of all, you get the participation bonus from Happy Meek, but also you appear an event called Contest. And from what I've heard, the contests that you want to do early are the Guts one and the Stamina one, and that's because there isn't really a way to beat them later because Happy Meek stats in those stats increase faster than yours. So I think that's the meta, but don't quote me on that. Basically, all you do is you press the button when it appears that if you go and you win the contest, which is based on a stat simulation, basically, if you win it, you get the skill Racing Spirit for that stat. I'll go over the skills at a later date, but they are very good skills that you want to incorporate onto parents. It also increases your speed cap for the scenario, which we'll talk about in a bit, as well, or your stat cap for the scenario, as well as give you some stats and skill points. This makes URA very, very good for parent farming. The second big thing about URA is that if you go and beat Happy Meek enough times in those battles from training training by the duels, and I think it's like level 5 if you hit it, she will appear in the URA finale as a buff version. She has roughly 700 to 800 all stats. She is actually kind of difficult to beat, but most likely you will still beat it on a run that is actually perfectly fine. It's just certain parent runs that aren't necessarily trying to max speed. May have trouble with it, and you get bonus stats. And the big thing is that basically everything has increased in the number of stats and skill points that you grab from it. However, there's not enough SP for ace running. This is still a pure parent building scenario, just because we found you still only get around 2200 SP, and the stats are not really that great, which I guess I have it later. Just note that the stat caps have changed, I believe. Unity Cup is 1300, URA Finale is 1400 for all. I think Unity Cup has a bunch more wit, it's 1800. I'm sorry I clipped it. And Trackblazer hasn't really changed except for stamina and wit. I believe these are all in the game because we were seeing it on Uma's later. Just note that these stat caps, you get half of the training value if you are above 1200. This is a URA finale, so we started at 1300. The sparks that you will bring into the scenario, so if you bring speed sparks into the scenario, they will also increase those particular stat caps. This is a run where a ton of power sparks were increased, so this is increased. It looks like with URA, the stat caps are not exactly these, so they have been increased. I don't know exactly to what numbers, but just know you can very easily get above 1200. Perhaps it is only just the spark ones. Unity Cup has been massively changed as well. Basically, a combination of being able to double Spirit Burst. So after your blue Spirit Burst, there is now a pink Spirit Burst. These Spirit Bursts are massive because not only do they have higher training effectiveness than the blue Spirit Burst, but they also set your training failure chance to 0%. So you just click them if you see them if they're on a relevant training, no matter what your energy is. There's also more skill hints you can grab from Unity Cup, and in general, a higher stat cap that you can go and achieve. You can also retry the Unity races at the end of each basically 6-month burst. So like Summer 4 will no longer give you trouble. And you also have the option and the ability to fight the elite teams, is what they're calling them, in a sense, the elite team. And basically you will see them, they are in like glowing pink. If you click it, it's a hard challenge for you to do, but if you succeed, you get a ton of stats. It's 24 all stats is what we found with whatever RB we were running before, with 96 skill points. And in general, these Unity Cup trainings, you're going to see different trainings, like, let me see up here. You're going to see different trainings where this isn't even that great of one, where you get like 55 skill points or 60 skill points just for going and proccing a double or triple rainbow with a few Unity bubbles. It is just rather powerful. And in addition, there's one more change, is that basically you get all the igniteds that you go and hit the requirements for. So if you train enough on the various different trainings, you get enough bursts on them, you will get the igniteds for them. It is not just the highest only, which is really great for parent farming and for ace farming because obviously you always had to choose between power and guts, and it was really tough to hit the power and guts in begin with because your speed was usually higher than most of those. Now those, if you're a backline player, you will most likely get at least ignited speed and ignited power, and occasionally ignited guts. If you're a front runner, you can get ignited wit and still get your ignited speed. And this is really, really nice and an incredible quality of life change. Unity Cup is a very, very good option for aces. I think it's hard to say, but I think it is the primary ace building now. One, because of how quick it is, and two, because we really don't care about stamina. Grand Live will be better than Unity Cup rework. Do not worry. So we will be playing Grand Live. It is not going to be like the JP situation where they thought that Trackblazer was just better than Grand Live. Grand Live is going to be better than this. But because of the stat increases, and because we are still able to easily get on a bad run like 2,700 skill points or 2,800 skill points. You can kind of see this was kind of lacking on stats and had more races. This one was more stats and less races, and it's still roughly around the 2,700 to 2,800 mark, which is plenty of skill points. Maybe Trackblazer gets like 3,000, but the thing is that, hey, this goes and is a lot quicker, and you can roll your aces over and over and over again, and you get secret events back, which means stuff like Taiki Shuttle gets just head on for running those medium races. And for those who do not have mile aptitude on their Oshis, Unity Cup does not require mile aptitude because you're not racing as much as Trackblazer. So, and also, there's so much stuff this time, guys. Remember that Unity Cup gives you its on, No Stopping Me, and the Igniteds as well. So I think Throne is the borrow. I think Bakushin Guts is not the borrow anymore. Now, if you own the card, feel free to run it. But you have so much of a skill point seek with its on, and you can even NSM on a backliner. It's not efficient, but you still have that option if you overcap on your skill points, as well as all the Igniteds are expensive and quite powerful, like Ig Power, Ig Guts. It's perfectly fine. So you have enough skill points to go and use that Throne card. Some people may disagree with me. Perhaps the counterpoint is that because runs are so quick, you can high roll with Bakushin and you don't. But there is a massive SP sink, and I think we can say Trackblazer is dead. I don't think there is a real reason to run Trackblazer. You may be able to get an additional 100 to 200 skill points, but it's harder to go and overcap your stats in Trackblazer than it is in Unity. You are training more on Unity as well, and Unity is faster. It is much less frustrating. I think you can very much just do Unity Cup for your CM aces. And I hopefully will not eat those words. I'll make a correction video if more things come out, but I have talked with a ton of people, and they are all in agreement with me that this Unity Cup scenario buff is ridiculous. So I think the way that the hierarchy for different scenarios is that they all have their own specific use. Most of it is parenting. Of course, your aces will probably be in Unity, but for parents, you will try to grab Unity will be the easiest to grab because it's basically an instant SS because you just get so many stats. You also, if you're a frontrunner player, it's very easy to get Ignited Spirit Whip back into your parenting loop. URA, however, has all of those fighting skills, basically, that you are dueling with Happy Meek, and you do want to loop those in because they are stronger than most of the skills in the game when they have high hits to make them cheaper. I believe, let me just check my DMs again real quick. I think it is, let's see, stamina and power. Yep, I'm checking my DM. Sorry, they just someone help me with this. JJ. Stamina and power seem to be the best one for the URA additional skills. If you're trying to loop those into your parents, I would try to get the stamina and the power one in. That may change in the future, but that is the initial reaction. Otherwise, in Trackblazer, the only reason is for the very, very, very late game appearance of trying to overlap your races after you incorporate the skills from Unity and URA. The only thing is with these Unity and URA is that certain characters, even stuff like Oguri Cap, can't get Tokyo Daishoten because of the schedule, and the schedule is enabled in URA and Unity Cup. So Trackblazer still technically has the highest affinity requirement for those people who are really going into parent building and have all the skills looped in already. All right, so that is the only reason I think to run Trackblazer now. Otherwise, you're in Unity or URA. Remember that URA is really difficult to hit SS if you're not paying attention, so you actually have to pay attention in URA. So even on parent building, start with Unity Cup and just go and chill and enjoy the next 3 weeks. There's a ton of new skills. I'll have to do this in a separate video. Basically all the racing spirit skills from the URA. They added a bunch of white skills, including a big one for lasers that I know off the top of my head is they added the white version of Daichi Ruby's skill for sprints that is going to change pretty much all my CM guides. I'll try to make a Pace Chaser video update for it. This kind of makes my life a lot harder, to be honest, but hopefully there's more stuff that's pretty good, but this is a lot of skills to be adding all at once when I've already made half the CM guides. So this will be a separate video, hopefully later today when I get home from work. Other than that, there's a few quality of life changes. The animation, if you haven't noticed, is somewhat crisper and faster. And no, not just from using external tools that are against TOS. It is actually just better animations that they have added to the game. So the game is running faster. The game is actually going and has basically it's less animation fluff. So when you press the buttons, your careers will be faster no matter what. Also, there is a spark filter for your veterans list, which means when you're trying to find parents to loop in skills, you can literally just click your Umastand plus restraint plus nimble navigator or just whatever stuff you are trying to loop into parents, and you can see the ones that are able to be loopable, I guess is the way to say it. So easy parent building, you can now look at your list and say and find someone in the glue factory that was like, wait a minute, this hit everything and just didn't have a good blue spark, so I completely dismissed it. Also, the support cards now have an effect filter. This is less useful, but it's really nice because you can just see, like, I need really high friendship bonus. I need some race bonus for Trackblazer if I decide to play that scenario. It's just an additional filter that's a nice little quality of life. Your foul list has been increased by 10, and your veterans list has been increased by 280, meaning we have to clear that out less times over the course of the game. And we can now multi-pull tickets, which means we don't have to press the button a million different times. We can do it in a set of 10 pulls. I believe you do get the gold bonus for 10, but I could be wrong on that. I think this was prior to the time that they merged it in with the base scout button. Otherwise, there is a race history for team trials for those who like it. It has a updated UI, and it's actually quite nice to see. It's quite easy to do, and you can request sashes in club. So if you are like missing a bunch of the sashes, I don't know if you're going to be able to get all the Kukukusho sashes from your teammates or the Tennosho Spring sashes from your teammates, but you can certainly try. But you can request them, so if you have nice friends in your club, or if you're a new player, you can go and just request those from your team and try to get your potential up for your Oshi. Some more casual things that have been implemented. The photo mode has existed now, so now you can go and do pretty much any date. You can do like a level 5 training in fall on power, for example. You can just see the Riverside date animation, and it will pull that animation and show you it for those who want it. The most important part about this change is that you have on-demand hot spring event if you have unlocked it in the career. So enjoy that. Otherwise, there is a gallery key. This should unlock events in the archive for characters that you have not completed the event. So if there's a really, really difficult event that you do not want to actually do, you can use a gallery key on it, and that will be in the monthly shop. I believe that is the stuff for that. And I think that's it. It is it. That is the patch for that they added. This changes everything. The biggest thing, like I said, is that we are running aces, I believe, in Unity Cup. And URA is the technical best parent farm, but you're probably also running Unity for the next 3 weeks. So, yeah. I tried my best here. I hope this was useful. Good luck. And I think this is an overall positive change because a lot of people were burnt out about Trackblazer, and I think this effectively kills the scenario. So I think we will be now Unity Cup gamers for 3 weeks for this next CM. Looking forward to Grand Live. I have a ton of videos to make still, and I have to go to my day job now. So take care, everyone. Burb out.